live from Prague. We're back in the fishbowl in the basement again. I'm joined by Theo Goodman. How's it going, Theo?
It's going very well. Hello, everyone on the internet. What's up?
I'm also joined by Dan Eve, the Crypto Raptor.
It's going extremely well because we're at HCPP again. We've got an amazing couch set up and we're going to interview a shed load of people.
And we're joined by Paul Pui from Edge Wallet, formerly Airbits.
The day just got a whole lot better now that I've entered the fishbowl. Glad to see and be on the show again with Thomas. It's been years.
It's going to be awesome. We've got 4 microphones. We've got a soundboard. We've got multiple camera angles. My brother's working the board. Everybody in the chat, give us a thumbs up and a share. Go retweet that tweet. Let's try to get some more people going. Just like last year and just like the year before, we're going to try to keep this couch going live. We'll be subbing in and out. We've got Max Hillebrand getting food. Theo's here, Dan's here, the whole crew's here. We're going to be coming in and out, talking to you live from Prague, where a lot of great speakers are coming in. We've got a list of speakers. We're going to be trying to getting them in here to talk to you directly, answering your questions. We'll check in with the chat. So be sure to join us here. Give us a thumbs up and the share. If there's somebody out there that you think should retweet this, maybe you should mention it to them. One of these big Bitcoin people who have a broken retweet button, maybe you should ask them to share and to help the community. I know some people think that Twitter is kind of a selfish thing. I never retweet. I never share. Maybe you should point that out to them, that it costs nothing to share and retweet and help us have a larger community here in Bitcoin and on the World Crypto Network. But we're here to talk to Paul today about Edge Wallet. So what's going on with Edge Wallet? I used to use Airbits. I like the login and the password. It's good for new users, easy to use. You don't lose your keys as often. Of course, there's some trade-offs there, but that's acceptable, I think, for a new user. But you guys changed it to Edge. You added a lot of altcoins, features. I think you have an exchange in there. What's going on today?
Yeah, so the big transition, I guess in some ways people call it a pivot to Edge, was focused around kind of 2 things. One being a platform for key management that other apps can use. We saw that there was a need from other apps, especially kind of in the DApp ecosystem, love it or hate it, but they needed key management, and a lot of them liked not having to write down 24 words. So we made that a platform, and then we changed Airbits as an app from kind of a payment-based app. If you remember, it actually supported NFC and Bluetooth, and it had a built-in merchant directory, which to this day people still ask us about, which I miss, but it's too early. This would be the only place in a merchant directory, right? This place is awesome. You can only pay in Bitcoin over at this place, only in crypto, Litecoin as well.
You can. So they got me a couple of times already.
I know.
Lunch and sodas. I'm running low already.
I can't wait for the world where this is what you see everywhere, but we're not there yet. And so the mission of what we turned into with Edge is we noticed that speculation and on-ramping and off-ramping into crypto and Bitcoin is still where people are at, but let's get them to fuck off the exchanges where they leave their money there. And so we transitioned into being a non-custodial exchange. Buy, sell, trade, most anywhere in the world with a bunch of different payment mechanisms, and you never at any point in time after you've done a buy or sell do you ever have money with a third party.
So
that's the key piece.
Edge Wallet's never holding my keys, whereas if I buy Bitcoin on Coinbase, Coinbase is holding it unless I set it up with some weird things. Which
we get all the advocates and the people that run meetups and the people that set up these educational classes saying, okay, go to like the Kraken or the Coinbase, but then, make sure to remove your money. Guarantee most people kind of stop and go, okay, I have Bitcoin, and they think they do. And so our goal is, there's no point in time where you have to do that extra step to take your money out. It's already in your own keys right from the get-go. You can still use a bank. You can use cash, debit card, credit card, but you're never leaving it with a custodian.
Is there a minimum amount you have to buy?
Depends on the payment mechanism. We have some that are as low as like $5. And it depends on the region. So we partner with a bunch of, at this point, 15 different back-end exchange partners around the world for crypto to crypto, as well as fiat to crypto and for selling crypto to fiat. So each of them might have a different minimum depending on what kind of mechanisms you're going to be needing.
Is there a maximum amount?
So there's a maximum on, once again, same different payment mechanisms. So if in the U.S., which I think most of the people in this room are, there's a maximum on buying with a bank account of $2,500 a week.
Okay.
They're a partner of Wire. that makes 10 grand a month, but there's no limit to sell. So, I hate to say it, but you can kind of like dump quite a lot of money all at once, but it's a little bit harder to buy. And, for those that have been in crypto a while, you might understand that that's because we have a shitty banking system, which is easy to fraud. You think you're sending money to the exchange thinks you're sending them money, but you're not. And so, but when you send the exchange Bitcoin, they know they got it. It's irreversible. Yeah. So they're happy to take as much as you're going to send them. So yeah, there's no limits on sell. There's some limits on buy. And then with other payment mechanisms, they range, $2,000, $20,000 with credit card. You can buy quite a bit. Fees are a bit higher there though. But we
so
just recently
you can use credit card and debit card. So even if I don't have money, I could buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. Why have money to buy Bitcoin when you can use the government's money that they just keep printing anyway and give to banks?
Well, the
and
money
give you free loans.
Made out of thin air.
They're just printing out of thin air, and
we're not giving out
loans.
any ideas here. But if you maxed out your credit cards and then you didn't want to pay them and you ended up with Bitcoin, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if things go right. I mean, if they go wrong, it's going to be really bad.
It could go really bad.
But it's up to you at your own risk, of course.
There may be some slight risk involved.
Just a little.
I mean, that's not much different than this thing called leverage. You're basically taking out a loan.
Can you do a recurring buy?
At this point, no. Although we do have a upcoming partner based out of kind of like New Zealand, Australia area that does have that if we integrate, then people will be able to do a recurring buy. So we are a bit limited being a non-custodial solution. Mm-hmm. This is a bit of the trade-off, is that we can't go and initiate a buy for a user. So our back-end exchange partners have to already have that set up in their system, and then you just turn it on, and then we could do that. And that's still limited to only certain parts of the world, such as the US, where we are really lazy about payments. We just don't want to deal with it, which is why we do recurring stuff like our gym membership and porn. Just take the money out of my account. I'll sue you later if you took too much out.
There you go.
Most parts of the world, you actually have to send money. You log into your bank, you send money. So recurring buys don't work in those parts of the world.
Because it seems like you've got part of the pain going away. Because I just heard someone saying, we tell everyone to buy Bitcoin, but then we say, but you don't leave it on the exchange. And they're like, what does that mean? And then we tell them to dollar cost average, and that's really complicated. So at least with Edge, you could buy it and not leave it on the exchange by default.
Right.
And then you'd still have to kind of log in every week or every month if you want to dollar
if you want
cost
to do
average.
it, yeah. So we are pushing hard on our partners that have pull mechanisms, such as bank transfers in the U.S., ACH bank transfers. We're pushing on them pretty hard to enable the dollar cost averaging and recurring buys, subscription buys, because it's a pretty big demand, and it's just a good recurring, revenue stream.
Well,
so
it's that smart thing where it's like, everyone says dollar cost averaging, but no one does it. But if you set it up and you buy $20 a week or whatever, you're going to get the average price of Bitcoin, whether it's up or down. It's generally going to average out. So it is the best strategy, we think.
What about PayPal integration? Because can't you do recurring payments, and it's kind of an international thing?
So you can with PayPal. Admittedly, the payment mechanisms are limited by our partners. But we partner with a ton, but none yet support PayPal, because PayPal also is very reversible. Mm-hmm. So they've at least figured out credit cards and the heuristics for fraud detection with credit cards. PayPal probably has more complicated heuristics, and so none of our partners yet support it, but we're definitely hunting them down.
Well, and PayPal is very unpredictable. They love to freeze your account at any time for any reason, and you'll never get your money back.
Not just freeze. But just cancel. I am one of the victims of PayPal just for no reason. They won't even say why. Canceling my account, and I cannot be paid with PayPal.
I'm pretty sure they gave me a 6-month hiatus after I sold some Bitcoin on there very early, and then they claimed that their account was hacked, and then they reversed the payment, and then I lost both the money and the Bitcoin, and I never did that again. That was a stupid thing.
Oh, that sucks. Luckily, I didn't lose any money. But I just simply got the account shut down. I had to wait forever to get the money that I had in there back.
That's not fair.
And the irony of it was too is I had a PayPal credit card, and I couldn't pay the credit card because the only way to pay the credit card was to log into my PayPal account, and I couldn't log into it. So then they got me for not paying a credit card.
Of course, late fee.
Yeah, basically late fee, and I just didn't pay it. And eventually I negotiated to the point where I only had to pay half of the actual balance because I bitched so much about I couldn't even log into the account, and they held my money. So fortunately, I made out in the end better off.
It's a good lesson. You have to
Just
negotiate.
stay the fuck
Call
away from
them up.
PayPal. Just stay away
Let's
from
get
PayPal.
Theo
Oh
in
yeah,
here.
I just wanted to ask a question. So I think that there are other projects or other things that want to build wallets and so on, and it's kind of hard to have a business plan for it to monetize a wallet because it's just a wallet. It doesn't really make money. So I wanted to know, because you did Airbits and now it's called Edge, what kind of business plans do you think work for wallets? And you said you have partners. It's not custodial, but you have partners. So you have a commission or what can you tell us about your business plan that's worked? And also since we're at the Hackers Conference, what's your policy on, kind of related to that, what's the policy on the wallet collecting any personal data related to that?
Love those questions. So we first entered the wallet space for payments. And so the monetization would have been actually going and actually paying merchants. So as an example, not that I'm a huge fan of this project, but BitPay has partnerships with wallet companies such that when people use the wallet, they actually give a kickback. And so we saw that even early on as being a potential for wallets to actually make revenue in a system where we're making a lot of payments to merchants as you would with a credit card. But as we know, that just didn't come to fruition, right? No one's using crypto to pay at this point. But people are definitely still on-ramping and off-ramping to and from crypto. And so hence the reason why we moved into the exchange space. And so we don't even really call Edge a wallet anymore. We call it a non-custodial exchange. And
So
as that, there's
you
a
get
clear
small
monetization.
cut off of the exchanges when people buy and sell, something like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So we split the fees with our exchange partners.
Great.
So that's a pretty straight, obvious revenue model. Sure. As Edge, we happen to have a secondary revenue model, which is licensing. Since we have this unique key management architecture, we license that to other apps that want to be able to use that. And so that's kind of a second stream, which is a bit more unique to us.
I think you did something like that with Augur, I think.
Exactly. So Augur, we have a couple of different licenses. They use a non-recurring license, a non-recurring fee license. So they integrate our SDK into Augur, into the app, so that when you create your Augur account or wallet, you don't actually have to create additional keys. You just simply create a username and password. Or even better, you can single sign on with Edge. So you can take Edge, scan a barcode on Augur. It creates your Ethereum wallet private key. It automatically encrypts it, backs it up. And then inside the Edge app, you actually see your balance of Ethereum and rep tokens.
And you could also buy the Ethereum and then put it into
Exactly.
rep and then do the prediction marketing on
You can
Augur.
do-
I don't want to say gambling. Prediction marketing, of course. But
All financial services are gambling. They're just all bets.
Don't
That's
tell
my
the
take.
stock market that.
That's all they are. They're all bets. Insurance is a bet that you
We'll
just
get you some
don't
leverage,
want to
right,
win.
Theo? 100%
Sure.
leverage.
100%. Yeah,
Just another bet.
Just use your credit cards, like we were saying. That's a good. I mean, credit cards is probably similar to the overnight funding of margin trading in the crypto market. I don't know the actual rates.
Leverage is just, hey, Visa, do you take MasterCard? That's
yeah.
all it is.
Well, I mean, yeah, leverage is not bad. Well, without leverage, there wouldn't be any insurance. Because how would you pay for that? It would be insane.
Yep.
So-
That's all. It's just another financial product. And so when they like you doing it, they give it cool names like hedging. When they don't like you doing it, they give it names like gambling. But it's just another financial product, But you had a second question, which
I was just like, well, so I mean,
Our-
it was
a fellow
about it was about
financial
what the
personal information.
wallet's policy is regarding to collecting any user data.
Got it.
Because when the reason is because if it's an app and it's on your phone, it collects a lot of data, and if you're connecting merchants and partners and all on, they want to know who they're dealing with and so on. So it's an ongoing topic.
So I'll preface first with the entire app is open source. So everything I say can be validated. If you guys want to look at the code, no personal information that is asked of the users. No phone number, email address, name. It's just username, password. You can make it up, whatever you want it to be. As soon as you want to do some exchange functionality, if you do crypto to crypto, by default, there's no personal information asked. You may be asked for personal information depending on which provider gets chosen. We do best price hunting across a bunch of crypto to crypto partners. Some of them don't ever ask, some of them may. So that's kind of a next phase in asking for info. And Edge never sees any of that, right? This goes directly to the exchange partners. If you do fiat to crypto, almost certainly you're going to get asked for some KYC information, with the exception of a major announcement we just made this week. So just this week, a couple days ago, we announced a new fiat to crypto buy-sell partner in Europe that lets you do 5,000 Swiss franc equivalent anywhere in Europe, euro or Swiss franc, buy or sell Bitcoin with absolutely no KYC.
And that's 5,000 per day.
I'm confused because you think Swiss franc is worth a lot more, but you know it's really stable.
It's pretty
That was
stable.
a little joke because they had a real big flash crash years ago, so it was like
They did-
destroyed.
And we're back. Maybe. No one even knows now. But we're recording all of this for later, so it's going to be great. Lots of cursing, lots of smashing things. There seems to not be a network cable in the house. We're checking to see if we're live. Maybe refresh that page, Dan. Let's get a whole refresh in there. We've got the whole tablet going here. Looks like it's still Paul. Adam, what does the YouTube say? Oh, it's bad. Refresh the page. Let's see. Is there anyone still in the chat? Oh, see, mine works. Dan, your tablet's not refreshing. My YouTube is showing me and Peter. Your hair?
Oh, there, now I am.
There you go. All right. Now I think it's working. Let's see. Is anyone in the chat? Say hi in the chat. No one's with us anymore. We're down to 2 audience members. It's an audience of 2. I've got a
Shout out to number 1 and number 2 audience.
Jeremy says we're back, but it's really choppy, which means the Wi-Fi is still not working. Alex, you a speed test. New Wi-Fi that's just better than the old Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we'll live speed
Do the
test.
speed test course, and it won't interfere at all. We're already using the whole
And
Wi-Fi.
do you know Wi-Fi passwords?
I know. No one has a hard link to know about speed or read privacy. Yeah, all these masks and all this like, oh, we're so private, you can't take pictures of us, but having a network cable, no, fair enough.
In like a debate about how you just use
Actually, some great stuff came recently where these guys moved buildings and all their network problems went away. And it dawned on them that the network cable